Hello, and this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the DC Multiverse Walmart exclusive Cyborg figure. So before we take a look at Cyborg, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. Well, the only accessories that he comes with is the halves of the mother boxes, the other halves to what Batman comes with. You can see that these are more or less the same than the ones that came with Batman, except these don't have a lip around them so that they can seal into the other halves. So I will go ahead and put these together. So first let's put the Atlantean mother box together. Clicked in there pretty nicely. That looks really nice together. Right here is where it connects. You can't even tell that it connects actually. Like really up close you can tell that it's two separate pieces, but back like this you can't tell that they're two halves at all. So this is really, really nice. And it's pretty big size too. So I really love all the detail that's on this. Kind of looks like a starfish covered in mud. Or at least that's what I'm seeing. The metal looks pretty nice. So this is the Atlantean mother box. Now let's put the Themysciran mother box together. Well, that one didn't make a clicking noise. Yeah, it kind of comes apart easily. But I'd have to say this is probably my favorite mother box. Just because it looks really Amazonian, like Wonder Woman's shield. It looks very, very nice. And has some amazing detail to it. Honestly, you can't hardly tell, like on this side you can. But on some sides you can't really tell that it's two halves that are together, not separate pieces. So I think it looks really nice. It's pretty much the same design on all the sides. Kind of also reminds me of the lament configuration that the Cenobites use. It kind of look like the cube to you two. And then finally, well, that one went together pretty easily too, no really snapping. The human mother box. It's not really my least favorite. It's just there's not a lot going on. And you can tell that it's two separate pieces. But I do like how the color has that kind of rust color of dry brushing over it. So that looks really nice. And it has the same design on all sides also. Now from what I've gathered from the movie, I could be wrong, is once you get all three of these together, in the Justice League movie, that's what Steppenwolf is hunting, all of these mother boxes. Once you get all of these together, you can open a portal to Apocalypse and summon Darkseid. So that's what I got from everything I've read and stuff. So, to me, probably the human mother box would be the easiest to find, because of course the Atlantean mother box is going to be guarded by the Atlanteans and Aquaman, and the Themysciran mother box is going to be guarded by the Themyscirans. So I think that these two would probably be the hardest to get and the easiest to find, or the hardest to find, and the easiest to find would probably be the human mother box, because I don't know, I just feel like it'd be really easy to find. So now, let's take a look at Cyborg. Now, I am a little disappointed that he didn't come with any accessories, because I don't have the regular version of Cyborg yet, but as far as I can tell from pictures I've looked up online, it's the exact same thing, just a new head on it. Like, Cyborg's arm even pops off like that, so that you can put in his cannon. But I really wish this one would have came with the cannon. That would have been really awesome. But he doesn't have any accessories. Or, like, to put on him. I would have preferred, like, a sonic cannon or an alternate head. So, for the head sculpt, I think it looks pretty good. This is his helmeted look. In the trailer, when he blasts off, he put, like, the helmet comes down over his face. I think it looks really nice, though. Kind of looks like a cross between Ultron and Deathstroke, though. Or Deadshot. I do think it looks really nice. Not much going on the back. His torso, I really like the shapes on this, because there's lots of shapes. And this looks like, kind of like an alien metal to me. So Cyborg definitely has a very interesting design. But also, I think it kind of looks like Ultron back there. Like you can, let me just pose him like this, like Ultron is. Kind of looks like Ultron to me. So he kind of looks like a cross between Deadshot, like Deadshot's head, and Megatron, because it kind of also reminds me of Megatron from Transformers, the movies, the live action movies, and Ultron. So there are three things he reminds me of. So the chest, I really like the chest one because this whole design really looks like alien metal, and I do love the kind of plastic that Mattel went with because it does look like real metal. It's very shiny. I do like the red on him, too. I figured there'd be more red, though. Because from the pictures that I've seen of Cyborg, he has, like an arc reactor, like Iron Man, in his chest. So I don't know if the design changes whenever this, he puts this helmet on, or the helmet comes down over his face. I'm not sure if the design changes. Actually, the figure might be a little different than the regular release, but I've just looked at pictures of the other figure. But he's got a lot of sculpting on him. He does have some red on his sides there. Kind of this, not really sure what you'd call that. Kind of looks like a cage. Like a rib cage. But it looks really nice. And he also has that kind of pattern on his back, too. I guess that's a thruster. And then his legs, there's a lot of detail on his legs too. I just like how the sculpting on his legs and chest look, because that's a lot of where you get all these shapes intertwining, and really makes it look like an alien kind of material. So that's where it looks the best, in my opinion. Here you get his arms. Not really too much going on there. But there is something weird with mine. On the back of his right arm, he has just a little bit of paint chew right there. You can see where it's chewing some of the paint off, and it's just a dull gray underneath. And I'm not sure why, because it swivels just fine. There's nothing that should be chewing it up. So that's really my only complaint with this figure, because it's a nice figure. Definitely better than the Batman figure that came with the other mother boxes. And then you get his feet. And I did notice that just like Batman, his knees kind of angle inward just a little bit, like they're pointing kind of inward just as a slant a little bit. Got a little bit of a dry brushing of dark gray right there. And then he has some weird, like, it kind of looks like he's wearing sandals, like robo sandals. I think overall it's a very interesting design for Cyborg. And a lot of people aren't a fan of this, but you've got to think that he's not just going to be normal metal. He's going to be an alien metal, like seen in BVS. So I'm very much a fan of this, and I'm pretty sure I'll be a fan of the unhelmeted version as well. So now I'm going to go over his articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can look up that far. He can actually look up. This is probably the most articulated head. Excuse me. This is probably the figure with the most articulated head from the DC Multiverse line, because he can actually look all the way up and all the way down. It can move side to side. Actually, it can move all the way around. That's definitely the first for the DC Multiverse figures. He's got ball-jointed shoulders that can only move out that far due to his shoulder pads. They don't allow his arms to move out all the way. He's got a swivel at the bicep, single-jointed elbow, swivel at the forearm, and a swivel at the wrist. Hold on. Swivel at the wrist. He's got a swivel at the waist. Now, I thought that he had an ab crunch, but I honestly think it would have interrupted that awesome sculpt right there, so I'm glad that he doesn't have an ab crunch. He's got a double swivel at the hips, and he can just about do a split. He can kick forward all the way. He can kick back just a little bit. He's got a swivel at the thigh, single-jointed elbow, and a swivel at the ankle. And the most epic pose that you can get Cyborg into, let me pose him here, is this. So you can get him into a fairly dynamic pose. There. So you can get him into a fairly dynamic pose. Actually, that's pretty good. That's better than the Batman figure, because you could get Batman into a jogging pose, is what I'm going to call it. But here Cyborg is next to Batman. And then here they both are next to Aquaman, the figure I've reviewed from the Justice League movie so far. And I think, well, let me straighten Cyborg out there. That way you can tell how tall he actually is. And he is actually shorter than Batman. And I think that he should be taller than Batman just because of being a robot and stuff. So I probably need to watch the trailer more to see if this is accurate. But I do think that Cyborg should be taller than Batman, even if it isn't that way in the movie. I think that he should be taller than Batman. And then here is Cyborg with all of the mother boxes. I actually think that in the trailer we saw that Cyborg's dad was using one of these to make Cyborg like this. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched the movie. And I think these look pretty awesome together. And I would highly recommend this figure. It's really, really awesome. And my only real problem is that the paint's chewed up just a little bit on this arm. And he doesn't come with an attachment to make his arm the sonic cannon. But that's honestly just a nitpick. That's not even anything major. So that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.